What's up, everyone? We are back in the garden. We're doing a summer squash check-in. We're going to go over a few brief things and a new experiment I'm doing this year coming up. So I am trying a different type of zucchini and summer squash this year that I haven't before, and that's from True Leaf Market. That is the greyzinni. That's a hybrid. That's this one right here, if you can see it. It's a nice little striated green and black mixture of a Black Beauty, kind of like a Zephyr with the stripes in the middle. It grows profusely, and what I wanted to go over was just the differences in growing conditions between the three I'm doing this year, which are greyzinni, the hybrid, the yellow summer crookneck, which is an heirloom that everyone does, and the Black Beauty, which is another heirloom. So we got a couple greyzinni here and some big broad leaves. For zucchini summer squash, this year I did it properly, and it's at least 1.5 feet apart, if not 2 feet. They're just big plants, so make sure to give them plenty of breathing room. If they don't have good airflow between them, you run the risk of downy mildew, powdery mildew, just every disease that happens to them, because they are all heirlooms. So you'll notice the leaf difference between the Black Beauty here, these two, and the greyzinni down there. Significant difference in leaf structure. And these guys just don't have the same grow rate. So the Black Beauty is just small. It is just, it's got a very, very small fruit. So and that was what was marketed, but I didn't know if that was going to be the case. The greyzinni has probably got a double the grow rate. And it was supposed to pump out a bunch of smaller, quick fruits. So the crookneck and the Black Beauty both get like 6 to 8 inches long. And that's what people use them for, but they do take a little longer. So the plants aren't as vigorous. They're big, but they're not as big as the greyzinni. And I will show you the crookneck quickly. These guys were all planted on the same day. So the transplanting day is all similar. We got a little yellow crookneck in there. Everyone likes the crookneck, and they're the grocery store favorite because they have a hard skin, so they hold up well to transport. And they're the traditional yellow squash for the region. And I'm in zone 6B, so temperate rainforest, rains a ton. So I do mulch all my zucchini or fabric, whatever. Just keep as much soil splash off the leaves as you can, because all the mildews are a problem. But we will do some future trials with yields, so I'll tell you how much I get off of each plant-ish. And it looks like the greyzinni you're going to start. I'm going to harvest in 2 weeks, and it is currently the 1st of June, so I'm a little behind. These guys are in full sun, maybe 10 hours of sun. It's shady right now, and it's probably about 10 in the morning. The sun will hit in about an hour or so. It's a little cloudy today, but make sure your spacing's right. So at least 1.5 feet. A lot of people do staggered if you're in a bed. I had space along the wall this year, so I just spaced them out. I converted this was lawn, and I just threw some compost and some sticks on it, and they're doing wonderfully. But some sunflowers growing in the background, so the house will be covered with sunflowers. 1.5 to 2 feet, just to give them some breathability. You can intercrop. A lot of people do corn and beans to grow up the corn. I really hate corn, and I am under the impression, or I'm in the camp, that there's no such thing as organic corn at this point, since it cross-pollinates and the genetic engineered particles float in the wind. So I don't mess with corn anymore, and I don't like beans that much either. So traditionally people do Three Sisters just for nitrogen balance and to give some shade, block out the additional. Oh yeah, this little guy randomly, I don't know what happened to him. That might have been transplant shock, but has a ton of little fruit on it. We'll see what happens with him, but all the other guys are doing well. So we'll do some yield comparisons whenever I start pulling fruit off them. But If you're going to do an experiment, just make sure everything else is the same. So transplanting date, soil type, sunlight, everything. We'll check back.